So when it comes to de-escalation, because we see the videos every day, and it seems that the videos are just getting worse. Um, Maybe Officer Williams, maybe you can tell us how would you de-escalate a situation, and how would you coax one of your fellow officers should they be more aggressive or getting out of line?
Well, with me, in my career, I've had the fortunate opportunities to work with senior guys. I'm a senior guy now, but prior to that, I worked with a lot of senior guys, and um, it's just they trained you right. They gave you the right advice. They didn't put you in situations where a George Floyd type incident could happen.
Mm-hmm.
As far as dealing with people, you kind of got to be a people's person. You got to be able to talk to people. You got to understand sometimes you got to let people vent, because a lot of times, an officer comes up and he sees someone upset. Sometimes you have to give them a chance to just de-escalate themselves and
Mm-hmm.
just like bring it all in. There's been plenty of times where I've I've been frustrated and trying to talk to people and trying to get them to see things my way. But I mean, eventually, like over time, speaking with them, giving them an opportunity to just cool down, you get to the point where you can actually communicate with them. And I think that's the big thing, like being able to get to a point where you can communicate, they can hear you, they're listening to what you're saying, and you get an opportunity to listen to their side. And you understand sometimes why people are upset.
Mm-hmm. Um, so in right now, um, everybody seems to be upset. Everything can be a trigger.
Yes.
Um, and I know, you go into a situation, um, statistically, we've all been cooped up for the last 3 or 4 months. And it seems that we're going back that way, where domestic violence and those and abuse issues can rise. Um, how do you approach that situation? Because it's already hot, and then all of a sudden now I'm introducing the police into the scenario, and I don't have confidence that I'm going to be protected. As an officer, how do you deal with those emotions, because they're there up front?
Yes. At the end of the day, you have to treat each person as a person. I mean, you can't go into it with a pre-notion of what a person is like just because of the call that you're on. Like you're saying, we've been cooped up for a while. I mean, a lot of people have their breaking points,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, sometimes we have to intervene, and sometimes people have to be arrested. So we have to do our job. I mean, regardless of the situation. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's still just because you're arresting a person, that doesn't mean you still can't have that conversation with them. I mean, you could explain to them, what it was that they did wrong. And sometimes when people have clarity and you explain it to them, they take it in stride. Like they understand, like, hey, I know I did something that was wrong, and I appreciate you just having that conversation with me.
Mm-hmm.